Now, I'm very much glad to see you on board, and I welcome you to this discussion. This is a very interesting one that I want us to look at. You know, most of the times I've been asking myself a very simple question that the moment you see the President William Ruto having, guests from the Nyanza community, especially the Luo Nyanza community, these leaders from the Luo Nyanza who occasionally pay him a visit at the Statehouse, and then they take pictures. And then, of course, the president must announce that he met these leaders. There is always that stress he gives. And I've been asking myself question, why does he always take that dimension of insisting on a given frameworked messaging, or kind of, you will say it like they always say in politics, a coded message. Anytime he meets them, he must actually come up with a coded message that is being sent, and this is targeting directly to the man who is supposed to be the key recipient, Raila Amolo Odinga. So today, the likes of Jalango and those leaders from the Nyanza who went to meet the president in the first place, remember the first time they went, today they again visited the president. And as a matter of fact, I was looking at how Jalango also came out to talk about that meeting, and he was saying that this is the time to work with the president, and there is nothing that is going to stop them from working with the president, because according to them, they know definitely well that when they work with the president, it is something which is automatic, that a president must be worked with, So irrespective of which party took you to, the office you are holding, you must just work with the president. So first of all, they are kind of eliminating the position of the opposition in, the democratic society. And I've been listening to how they chest thump. And one of the things that most people have been trying to question on them is that what is it that they are showing, or what is the benefit that they are actually getting out of all these visits, apart from the fact that when they visit the president, they announce publicly. For instance, when you take the first time the likes of Jalango visited President Ruto, they were expecting something, in the long run. And as fate is having it right now, William Ruto did not consider the opposition. In fact, let me not say the opposition, the opponent side. He did not embrace them. And when I talk of embracing, this is a government that is moving with what we call, chronism, okay? So when they went at first, people were thinking that perhaps they are going to start preparing for maybe what will benefit them in terms of positions, and in terms of how, president will always be giving them attention. But that has not been seen. And today, they again met the president. And so in this analysis, I want us to look at just the objectives of these meetings and what actually is being sent, because it is now very, very serious. And these leaders have declared that whatever comes, they will stand with the president and they will support him totally well. So the first thing that I have noted as objective, which is making them to take this bold, steps, is actually to send a message. And this message is supposed to be sent to Raila Odinga that, we can defy you and we can still thrive, They always say in the Lake region, they have a say, not a say, but a statement that dragging a cat that is dead is difficult. They will say that paka iwatek. So meaning they are trying to drag this cat And this cart cannot be dragged easily. But in the process, they are chest thumping because they are supporting the man who is wielding, the ultimate power in the nation. They come out as braggarts in the first place. When you look at the way Jalango speaks, a braggart. When you look at the way, at least Eliud Owalo went and got some bigger, slice of the government. When you look at the way they speak, they are very much braggarts. And they have really shown that they can do without the man who introduced them to politics. So when you look at them in that first objective, they are always intending to send a message, and this message has always backfired. The second objective is to try to, hoodwink people. And by hoodwinking people here, I am trying to see it in the sense that when they meet the president, they are trying to kind of send a message, which of course I was telling you in the first place, that the message is always a coded message. For instance, they come out and the first group of people they meet after visitation, then they tell the people that things are changing. For instance, they might come and meet a group of people who saw them go and visit the president, and then when they come, for example, when they go to their constituencies, they tell the people that this and this is what the president, is promising to bring to you, or this kind of development is what I went to champion for. So by doing that, they take advantage of their visitation, and with the fact that the opposition cannot bring development the way the government is supposed to bring development. Of course, it is the government which is supposed to bring development. So they take that opportunity and hoodwink people, such that if they get an opportunity to sway the people, it would be for their own gain in the first place. And then the man that they represent, who is the president, will have a say over those people. Because if they go to the people and maybe try to tell them that the president is going to bring for you 10 projects, but at the end we have 2, these 2 projects will have impact on a given number of people. So they are using that to sway the people. The only hindrance that they've always seen is the hindrance of trying to sway the people who have always been loyal, who have always remained loyal to their political master. And in this case, that is none other than Raila Odinga. It is very difficult to, hoodwink a Luo and convince them otherwise not to support Raila Odinga. When you want to convince a Luo not to support Raila Odinga, I think you need to go for serious lessons. And it might not just be you going to visit the president, come out with goodies that have been promised yet not even given onto your hands, and then you go tell them that this is the way to go, we need to support the president, we need to have a change. It doesn't work. I've never seen it work like that in the Luo nation. So that the hindrance that they've always had is the hindrance of trying to sway people who are very loyal to their political master. And that is the only stumbling block that has been on their way. There is that perception, not even perception, there is that narrative that has been created, especially when you talk of the leaders like Jalango. They are saying that Jalango is now a one-term MP, meaning that he's not going to get his second term. And he has always tried to explain himself why he goes to support the president, and he comes out to be a humanitarian. Like, he does PRs to prove that whatever he does is for the good of the people. But that cannot erase or maybe rub this narrative which is sinking deeply. It has really sunk in the people that Jalango is a one-term MP. So when you look at all this, it generally comes to what the Luos always say, that paka iwa tek. you know, it is very difficult to drag a cat because a cat has 9 lives. You know, you try to eliminate the first life, the second life, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and the seventh are still intact. So you need to have a complete perfection to ensure that you sway the Luos and, you know, take them away from Raila Odinga. What do you think, based on these frequent visits that these leaders are making? Let me hear what you have, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you in the next analysis.